Hello. Sorry I'm late. I had drama I was trying to deal with. Still no proper outcome. It's like I'm going around in circles. Doing all it is. Maybe this might be the worst birthday I've ever had, actually. I don't know why. Anyway, how are you doing, Bar? I hope you're doing good. I'm afraid to ask what happened. Oh my god. Uh, ah, drama with the neighbors and their shit. And I got turned down at the credit union for a loan, even though I had a car as collateral. And the credit union turned me down anyway. Oh, well, y'all hold on one second. Apparently, somebody needs to speak to me. So let me use this button, and I will be back. Sorry about that. I had to check on something. Anyway, hey, David Melbourne. Uh, hi, Anton. Ah, I hope your day is good. Have fun. Hug birth. Hey, Dave Myers. How are you? That's so weird. The thing that counts the top of here is not working. It says one person is watching. Now three, but I know there's at least five of you. I'm trying to, but things are just literally, it's like one obstacle after another. Like something, like everything's trying to hold me down. It's crazy. Like I've never seen so many obstacles. Like dang. But yeah, it's very depressing because like the credit, part of the credit union's issue was that like I didn't have a lot of credit because I don't like never had credit cards and all this. I'm thinking that should be a good thing. Oh, thank you, Inten. How was your day? Oh my god, my birthday's been 86 too. Arguments. Neighbor doesn't think he owes me an apology, but whatever. It's a whole thing. I'm not gonna get into it, but it's a whole thing. But yeah, I was hoping that if I get a loan from the credit union, that I could get the money to get on the ballot and also pay the property tax that I owe. And it looks like neither is going to happen. So it wouldn't be so bad, but they decided to raise the price of the ballot. But a couple of years ago, I think it was only $1,000 to get on this ballot for governor, which I thought was a lot, but I'm like, whatever. But apparently, I think in the last couple of years, they must have raised it to 2,000. So, and every time someone goes, "Oh, how much is the ballot fee?" and I tell them 2,000, they like panic and they go, "Oh, I can't afford that." Okay, I don't know what the fuck. If I tell someone the ballot fee is $2,000, it doesn't mean I expect you to pay the whole $2,000. But you can throw 100 or 50 or 300. You can throw various amounts at it to contribute. Like for some reason, people panic when they see $2,000 and they like think somehow I expect them to pay the whole thing. No, I do not. Oh my goodness, it's like you contribute any amount toward it. Like it's okay. Hi, Wookie. Thank you. Darth. So yeah, it's like uh, here in a little while. I'm not sure what time though. Like we're gonna have like more or less like the official, I guess, birthday hangout on Darius' account. I do believe. I haven't talked to him today, but I assumed that's what we're doing. We talked about it like a week ago or less. So last weekend I think. But it's just been an absolute disaster for But most of September has been a disaster. Because my dentist did a terrible job, so he butchered my mouth. It makes it really hard to speak now. Which is very annoying when you're trying to get something at the drive-thru and you can't say certain words correctly and they can't hear or understand you. And my voice text is using words now. That would be a day. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's like people tell you, people always say that like when you're trying to better yourself and you're trying to make things happen, you're gonna end up running into a lot of obstacles to test you. But I'm trying to figure out what is the difference, or how do you tell the difference between obstacles to test you and the universe telling you to go fuck yourself? I think there's a fine line, and I'm not sure where it's at. Not gonna lie, it gets complicated. Maybe I'll see like others want to come up. I have something wrong with my keyboard. Like usually I can just use the cursor part and just tap on things and it's double tap and it works, but now it doesn't. So I don't really know like what that's about. It's kind of annoying. So I can use the cursor and remember to push the button. So my muscle memory, where your hand is in the habit of like pushing certain buttons, is having a tough time right now. I know, it's the first little problems right there, but it's annoying. I don't like to think about it from me. And I'm getting a lot of happy birthdays from everybody, which is very nice. It's nice to get like public happy birthdays. I know it sounds shallow, but it lets people on the internet see that people care about you. And so I know that sounds kind of silly, but you know, I don't know. Like sadly, like a lot of people that I know in person did not like do that. Like usually they'll say it on like in my Facebook. Hey Zach, how are you? I never figured that out either. I have to listen to audiobooks at bedtime to distract my brain. I know, right? I have to like watch live streams this week for like something I've been trying recently. They have videos on YouTube that are like 9 hours long of rainstorms, and that's been helping a bit actually as well. But it sounds like because it sounds good enough. It sounds like I'm outside and it's raining around me. It's kind of cool. Yeah, he's that. I don't know. I feel really encouraged when y'all say hello, Governor, but it looks like, I mean, it feels like this is a non-starter. It really does. Because, people are like, oh, as soon as you get on the ballot, I can't wait to help contribute. But I'm like, I might need you to contribute now. And it's going badly. Because I did not realize what a huge obstacle getting $2,000 was. Because, yeah, the food costs money, fuel, the car costs money, tires, my ship's not aligned correctly, apparently. Just all the kinds of stuff, people need. I know, Darth, totally, they are. And it's like, it's amazing how much you need, like, you realize you cannot afford $2,000. Oh my goodness, the script doctor, wait, is the script doctor's live the same as the script doctor? Did he just, like, change his preferred name a little bit? But either way, hi. Hey, Sith Lord. Yeah, if you want to hop on, obviously you can. Like, I put the invite in the chat thing. The private chat. It's a sad world these days when you can't even put the link in the YouTube chat without the fear. Anyone else get a crackle? It's because of a shitty microphone. That is why you're getting a crackle. I'm sorry. Same person. Okay, hi, script doctor. Okay, I just didn't know if it was somebody that had a similar name to you or not, and I just wanted to make sure. I remember for the longest time, it was like the little silhouette of a little person wearing like a blue shirt. And so I haven't seen you in a bit. But, yes, it's good to see you too. Oh, at least kind of. I mean, you kind of sort of can't see each other. Mr. Hyde. Wait, Wait, I've just used. Wait a minute. Hold on. I I thought the doctor and Hyde were two different people. Now I'm fucking really confused. Holy shit. Uh, okay, just make sure it's not on my end. Fair enough, Zach. Hold on, I got a notification. Let me see what it says. Oh my goodness, I am not gonna press play on that. I don't know what it is. Sorry, I'm trying to organize. Like, cause this particular phone, ah, it only has it uses Wi-Fi, and so like if I'm out and about, messages build up and notifications build up. Oh my goodness. Sorry, one of my friends loves to like send like 3 or 4 messages in a row, and so they pile up by the time I see them, and I'm like, oh my god. Oh my goodness, I stand corrected. Apparently, even after checking other notifications on my Facebook, I have 25 more posted on my timeline. Holy crap. It is usually the people you never hear from, except for like once a year, which is better than not at all. It's like, how often do y'all see my post where you don't share it, or like react to it, or give it a like, or at least give me your opinion on it? So, like, Facebook is also kind of seems to be kind of dwindling, to be honest. I know the only way you can like really get seen is if you put something out there, is just completely outrageous and it's gonna get people worked up. Ah, hello, culture. If you want to come up and visit, you can, but since you said you're just dropping by, I know that's probably a no. I got, ah. Who, me? Oh, I mean, like streaming with you guys? Is that what you mean? Or what do you mean? Because I don't normally stream on my channel. Somebody, I think it was Bone that suggested it might be a good idea. Uh, yeah, it's been a very weird month. My friend is trying to get my opinion on live at the moment. I'm not sure what he wants my opinion on, but I'm not sure I can give him a proper response at this time. A lot of these birthday things got little kitty cats in them, and it's so cute. I'll send him super hug. People say the internet's not real life, but sometimes you get treated better on the internet than you do in real life sometimes, to be honest. Yeah, there you are. Hello, Irish potatoes. How are you doing? You must have seen me about the same time I sent you that message. Oh, okay, that does help. Thank you. You gotta. Oh, the fail. Yeah, like everything's just kind of a disaster. So, like, my dentist had a total fail. Um, I'm trying to figure out. Like, technically, I could send the pictures to my messenger and then show it on the screen, but I think it would stick in a few of y'all because when he took out quite a bit of teeth, but when he took out my canine on the lower jaw canine on the left side, and he was having issues with it, and so he should have. Now I know it may sound like, well, you're not a dentist. Yeah, but I've never had dentists make this kind of mess. So he was trying to pull the tooth, and it was giving him issues. Now, any sane person, I think, would have made an incision at the side and then help remove it. Instead, it got pulled out with enough force that it looked like the side of a tire blew out. And it was so shredded that there was nothing to stitch back together correctly. So it left the whole area like open. And so every time I ate anything, well, I pretty much had to survive for 2 weeks eating mashed potatoes and pudding. And even that was difficult. Everything stung and burned because it was open and exposed. And it was gruesome. Like, it still looks gruesome, but like the day of, it looked exceptionally gruesome. And he did such a raggedy ass job of it. They're like, I had to go in a week later, and it was like bone fragments or whatever. Hey Raquel, bone fragments sticking up. And he used this thing that looks like pliers. He said he's going to get some kind of clippers. And I'm like, what kind of clippers? And he's like, well, they're kind of like toenail clippers. And then I saw them, and they're the size of fucking pliers. And I literally, I did actually upload the video to YouTube, so I actually could actually open a window and show you. He didn't know I filmed it, but I figured since it's my medical procedure, I should be able to film it if I so damn well choose to. Anyway, and you should see it. It's like metal-looking plier clipper thing, and you can hear that bone crunch, and he's clicking them. Like, I'm not joking. In fact, you know what? I think it's so outrageous, I don't think he's going to believe it. And this was the week after, because I was so traumatized by how bad things went when he did the initial work, that the follow-up, I decided I was going to film it in case anything went badly. No, thank you. Sorry, like, things are, my videos, alright. Okay, I'm trying to, oh, alright. Alright, let me try to find a spot where, like, you can see the tool he uses on me. Like, a lot of this is, you can see the ceiling because I have my phone on my, okay, hold on. So you see the ceiling because the phone is on my lap, and when he leans the dental chair back, it brings everything up to an angle where you can see him working on my mouth. Share screen. Alright, let me check because I want to make sure that he's about to get a bone fragment out. Alright. Anyway, I am trying to have a sense of humor, and I am trying to, like, alright. Alright, oh, you missed it. Look at that thing, look at that. It's crunching bone out. And I'm trying to tell him it hurts. But yeah, look at that thing. He said they're like toenail clippers. That is no fucking, that's toenail clippers for a fucking eagle talon. And crunch goes the bone. Says, yeah, it had bone fragments sticking up. Now let me hide this, because that's annoying. I would have gotten a better angle, but it's a little hard to, yeah. So he's feeling like where the bones are sticking out at, and the pieces of whatever's left in there from what he did. And so, yeah. Ugh. I asked him what the hell kind of fingernail clippers those are. So that's what he compared them to. I was like, because he was talking about having like tools for bones, and I'm like, what do you do, autopsies too? She's got the suction ready. I'm like, she's like ready for something bad to happen, because like, yeah. Like, thank goodness you can't actually see down in my mouth. It would be way more gruesome. Yeah. But look how fucking big that is. That's like literally pliers. Like, I was not exaggerating when I fucking said that. Those cut bone. And there were bone fragments. Oh. Ugh. Totally miserable. Anyway, total fucking disaster, I might tell you. But yeah, like when I said that those were like fucking huge ass flyer things, that was no fucking joke. Is that a mechanic? You would think so. Hi, Ben. Yeah, you would totally fucking think so. That was a big ass shit because he was like toenail clippers. So I thought they were gonna be like really small little whatever. But yeah, straight up flyer looking things to chip down the bones that were like sticking up. Like, I'm actually tempted. Man, it's like kind of embarrassing, but I kind of want you to see how bad the damage was. Hold on. Alright, I'm having dinner right now. Okay. You know, Raquel will come by to visit. Anyway, but let me see if I can find a picture. Are they on this phone or are they on the other phone? I think they're on the other phone, so let me grab that. Sorry. I have like two phones. One is mostly for like TikTok and video clips and pictures because it has more room, and the other one is like for mostly communication. So let me look, scroll down to find it. I don't want to update right now. Fuck off with that. Who does that? Alright. Oh, yeah, there we go. Well, this is day 8. So like, that's not even the day of. I'll show you what it was like 8 days after. That is going to be a stunner. Because this is like, yeah. So, hold on. Let me find me. Because it's easier just to send myself a message than someone going, why are you sending me a message like this? So I will open my Facebook Messenger and then you can see what I'm talking about. Because like this is like really embarrassing, but like if I'm gonna bitch and complain about why my mouth is messed up, it's fair to like let you understand the extent of the situation. I am sure everybody at some point has had a tooth pulled, so you know what it's supposed to look like versus what it actually looks like. So if you have a weak stomach, that would be a good time to look away. So share screen. Trying to. Anyway, so yeah, if you have a weak stomach, it's bad. So I'm about to show you the picture. But this is where, like I said, he was pulling the canine on the lower jaw, and it just flew out the whole side of it. I'm going to need a sedative to see this. Oh, am I going to? It depends. Maybe. I would suggest taking a sedative real quick. I'm giving him a chance to get his sedative. Anyway, so take into account that this is 8 days after the extraction, and it just flew out the side like a bad tire wall. Anyway, so yeah, this is 8 days after it, so it's not even, yeah, that right there blew the whole fucker out completely. He could have saved so much trouble if he was having issues to simply make an incision right here and extract it. But then he could have controlled the damage to the tissue and he could have stitched it shut. But he left it gaped open. And it's, even now that the skin around here is started to kind of cover this area, this dent is still there. It just has skin covering it now to protect itself. But I had open wounds like this for 2 weeks, and it hurt like hell. It still feels weird. But yeah, and this is where he chipped the bone from. Because I think this was like, yeah, you can see like a little fragment of bone right there. I don't think you really see it. I think it was a little piece of fragment of bone right there. And that is what y'all saw him using the pliers on. So, yeah. So, I was not, yeah, exactly. I was not exaggerating. Right? I wish I could. Yeah. So, when I told you that I got injured, like, that wasn't me lying. Dude, I'm trying. I am trying to find someone. I have an appointment with a different dentist October 5th, but I feel like a 3D X-ray will give a much better look at the structure of the bones because the dentist who did this, before he did the extraction, he sometime back he did a 3D X-ray after he did a few extractions, and it looked like a lot of bone loss. So now that he's taken 10 teeth out, I don't know how bad the damage is, and I imagine a 3D X-ray would show just how bad it is. Because those regular black and white X-rays, they just kind of show you if there's teeth or not. They don't really give you like a proper proper definition to see where the structure and the bones are at. Yeah, it is a fucking nightmare, and that is why I talk very strangely now. And again, that's why I had to try to survive all mashed potatoes and pudding. Sugar and carbs, not a good thing if you want to not gain weight, but yeah, it sucks. And he prescribed me Percocet, but Percocet doesn't really do much of fucking anything for me. So really, I didn't take it because there could be an interaction. Yes, if you want to send love, please do. I would feel so much. It would definitely soothe my insides, my emotional state a little. But I'm still pretty fucked up from that. Like, if anybody's ever afraid of dentists, an experience like that will do it because it went so badly. Like, what you see is not all that happened. I'll hug Solar Faster. But yeah, it was not good. And so when he was numbing me up, I should have known like we were off to a bad start. So when he started numbing me up, he accidentally leaked some of the numbing stuff he was injecting me with down my throat. Like it numbed up my entire throat. So if you've ever like like that, like had a cough or clear throat, I couldn't because I do not need my cake through a straw, but I do have to pinch off pieces of food, especially if it's soft. If it's hard food, I can't do it. Like if I want a burger, I have to take the meat and pull it into little pieces and basically make a little salad. And then use the very back of my gums where my wisdom teeth used to be and chew with that. That is how I eat now. And before that, when they were taking molds to try to make my teeth for me, they fucked it up by shoving it so far back that it caused the teeth they created to have a horse-like overbite. So they do not fit and they look stupid. And then he wants to wait until almost Halloween to try again. And I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. How am I supposed to? And I told him back in July. The 1st of July was when my insurance kicked in. It is not burger milkshake. That's a little fucked up. A birthday cake shake. Now that actually sounds really fucking good. I think they have birthday cake flavored shakes. That actually sounds really good. Geez, what kind of dental facility is it? It's a legitimate dental facility. I just think I think every doctor fucks. I think he fucked with the wrong person this time. But so he wrecked your jaw and gave you well, yeah, he gave me opiates. Look what he fucking did to me. The least he could do was give me opiates. But also, unfortunately, those opiates they can interact dangerously with anti-anxiety medication. So I decided that anxiety is actually, it's a fair match for the pain. The pain is physical, but like with mental health issues, sometimes you actually rather have the physical pain. So the Tylenol and besides the ibuprofen works about the same for me as Percocet does. It doesn't really work very well. I'm one of those people that, yeah, well, I mean, if you want to kick it up, the only way you could kick it up a notch and for it to work would be to give me like a synthetic morphine. And he's not going to give me that. So yeah, basically, I just took ibuprofen. Yeah, that's what it was. It was a brown pill. So I took ibuprofen so that way I could take my anxiety medication so I wouldn't be in pain and freaking out. Like, we don't want that. That is bad. So hopefully I'm trying to find a dentist. Like this one I'm going to go to, he's going to examine my jaw. I'm going to show him the pictures I showed you. Well, that was one of them because I had the day of. And then the one you saw was after 8 days. So, yeah. So by the time I had my follow-up, which was when you saw the bone clipping part, um, yeah, the skin is attempting to heal, so the skin retracted. So even if he decided then to, there's no way he would be able to stitch it. But he shredded that whole thing. Like I said, it looked like it flew out the side of a tire. And he's like, "Oh, that's very common. That happens a lot." Okay, when you tell me that doesn't get you off the hook. That tells me you knew that was a possibility and you did nothing to prevent it from happening. That's what that tells me. Now, if you had said, "Holy shit, I'm so sorry this happened. This has never happened before. I didn't know it could happen," I would feel like that was just a situation that was out of your hands. But when you tell me that's common, then I feel like that you should have known something to do to prevent that from happening. That's how I feel, and that's how I see it. And so, yeah. So, yeah, I've been kind of about letting people see it. Like, I've let a couple of people, like, see the pictures. Like, not many, because it's gruesome, it's embarrassing, but, like, yeah, I mean, but since there's, like, a couple posts, mentioning that, like, I have, like, I don't really want to call it health issues, because, I mean, it's not, like, killing me. Like, I'm not dying from it, but, like, I did sustain damage. I figured it'd be at least fair to actually show you what it is that happened. That happened a lot, and it's hardly the point of the try. I know that it's definitely, well, he didn't say it happens a lot to him. He said it's very common in general. But if it is common in general, then it would make sense that you would make like a little incision to help extract it without it destroying the gum tissue around it. That's what I'm thinking, you know? Like kind of like when someone's giving birth, you give them like a little episiotomy, a little cut, so you can control where the tear happens. It's like that. And I told him that because then, like the following week, I had a follow up with him, and I videoed that too. And I told him how disappointed I was in him and what had happened because, like I said, torture guy should be embarrassed. Like he had done all right before. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with him this time. I really don't. Like I don't know if he's having issues at home or what the fuck. Anyway, so I told him like what when you saw him clipping the bones. Um, I had told him like later in the video that my antibiotic does not seem to be working very well. Like it was half-assed working, and I was starting to run out. And he says, "Are you still taking them?" And I'm like, "Yes, of course I'm still taking them. I don't want to get a blood infection. God." But yeah, I basically told him I think I need a stronger antibiotic or a refill or something. He didn't do it. So so there I am down to like one or two antibiotic pills left. I'm like, fuck. So I make an appointment at another place and I tell them like this is what happened to me and for the reason he won't write me another script. At least he's not a brain surgeon. Yeah, no shit. Thank God. So they take a look at it. They're like, oh my. And they happily write me a prescription and do not even charge me for the visit, which I thought was really nice of them. They felt so bad for what happened to me. They were like, unfortunately, they don't really get, I don't think get covered by Sooner Care, but like they saw how bad that was, and they were like, here, we're writing a script for the next antibiotic up, and here you go. And I was like, okay, how much do I owe y'all? And they're like, don't worry about it, hon. And I was like, oh my god, thank you. Air out the room using Novocaine. Why? How do you? Novocaine is a liquid to numb things. How are you going to air the room out after using Novocaine? Like that I'm confused about that a little bit. Anyway, back to the throat thing where my throat got numbed up because like I don't know if he accidentally started to push like inject it before he got into the gum or it was still coming out of the needle when he was pulling the syringe out from numbing me, but it got in my throat, so I could not feel my like entire throat. So like be able to go and clear your airway, like if you're choking, I could not do it. My ability to cough and clear my airway was gone. And and so, they kind of spray your mouth with liquid. And oh my goodness, thank you, Yvette. I love you. And so at that point, I had that thing over my nose. It's supposed to give me nitrous, but it didn't smell like nitrous, and it didn't feel or sound like because it all when you have nitrous, it alters the way you hear things. It's nicknamed the wah-wahs. Because at least most people I've talked to, including personally myself, that if you're on nitrous, when people talk, they sound like this. And so I didn't hear any of that. So it's almost like there wasn't even really nitrous coming in at all. So I'm wondering if you like dipped me on that as well. But I don't know how to prove that. Unless they just take the tank and examine it and see if it's actually a nitrous tank or not. But whatever. Anyway, so yeah, so I had that thing over my nose. So then there's water being hosed into my mouth to clean it as they're extracting. And I cannot clear my airway. I can't feel my throat. I can't tell, even hard to tell if my tongue is blocking my throat so I'm not drowning. And I, like, start to feel myself breathing in some of the water. And with that thing over your nose, you feel like you're being waterboarded and you're drowning. So I had to, like, put my hand up to get him to step back from me. I had to pull that thing off my face, and I had to turn on my side and try to force air because I couldn't. I couldn't do that with my throat, so I had to start using my lungs to force the air through the throat area, and that could have been fatal, not being able to. Yeah, I know, and oh, it gets worse. And not to gross you out, but apparently the reaction caused another reaction. They had to grab the trash can. Now that sucks extra because then I'm getting sick. And again, if you've ever got sick, you had to kind of cough to clear your airway. I couldn't. I was basically choking on my own stick. I couldn't breathe, and I couldn't clear the airway. So that's what happened when he numbed me up. And that was before the 10 extractions were even, like, totally started. So it started out badly, it ended badly, and it is still bad. The only thing that has successfully happened at this point is the skin has mostly covered that gaping area. That gaping area is still there, it's just the skin is now in the shape of that gaping area. So the shape of the area near my chin, that part of my jawline, like inside, is permanently altered. No. There's a misunderstanding there. No. I went to a different dental office to get that new prescription for antibiotics because they felt bad about what the original dentist did to me. The place that gave me the new antibiotics didn't do anything wrong. No, they felt so bad that happened, and they were like, "Oh my god!" Like, it was so bad. I started tearing up because I was recounting, like, how, like, I couldn't breathe. It caused me to vomit, which I have never thrown up in a dentist's office ever. That would definitely be appreciated. Because holy fuck. Yeah, like, yeah, I was kind of hesitant. I was trying to decide because I really wanted to show y'all those pictures in the video, but, like, I didn't want you to think I was exaggerating. So, like, when I said that guy was like, he had fucking pliers, like, I was not joking. I did not know that was a distance tool used in the 21st century. That looks like some shit they would have used 100 years ago in dental. You know what I mean? Like, holy crap. I mean, so, yeah, he left, like, apparently there's, like, in your jaw, there's, like the bone around the tooth to help secure it in place. And I'm assuming those pieces can kind of break loose, but, like, I'm assuming they break loose a lot. And I'm imagining that I am missing a lot. I'm actually worried that if anyone decides to get mad at me, like someone road rages, someone mistakes me for someone else, whatever, if someone punches me, I am worried that at this point I have a glass jaw, and I'm afraid that my jaw will shatter. And also, before the extractions happened, like 1 or 2 visits before the extractions happened, I found something that apparently dentists do. That when they're going to take out a lot of teeth, they can put in some sort of a filament to fill the gap in the jawbone. Oh, thank you, Pickles. Implants or reconstruction. No, implants I think will be impossible at this point. The amount of damage that's been done to my jaw. But that's what I'm getting to though. So apparently, that, like, it's becoming more common that they will use a filament to fill the gap where the tooth root was. So that way, it's not Swiss cheese. That it's uniformed and more structurally solid. I showed this to him. I pointed it out to him, and he blew it off like it was not any big deal. It was not anything he really needed. And I'm like, okay. And so then when I called a dentist in the more upper class part of town, like up in Edmond, I mentioned this to him, and he asked. I told him what the dentist had done. He goes, "Did he use a filament to fill in the holes in your jaw?" I'm like, "Actually, I asked him if he should, and he said it was not a big deal." And he goes, "Uh-oh." That scared the crap out of me. I was like, "Oh, fuck." So I'm trying to find someone who will do a 3D X-ray that also happens to take insurance, or like I guess that place in Edmond, they said they would charge me like $150 for an X-ray and exam, but at least that could be used against the dentist if I can show if at least a couple of dentists can agree that more bone damage was done than could have been necessary. So with the way my jaw is now, there is no way I would be able to have implants because the implants, as I'm sure y'all have seen the commercials, it has to screw into bone to anchor in place. And I don't think that my jawbone is structurally safe enough to be able to do that anymore. I think that is completely off the table for me. Like I don't know what it. Even if it does heal, it may not even heal correctly, and it's not going to regenerate bone per se. It is some if there's any like cracks and stuff, those may heal up. But since I'm 40, bone doesn't heal like it used to, and the shape of the inside, like inside of my mouth, will never be the same again. Like I mean, they would have to actually do reconstructive surgery to do it, and I don't think I could live through it or sit through it again. Having someone poke and prod me and do all this, I don't think I could go through it again. Oh, hello, Lady Q. I have not seen you in forever. Man, you missed some gross pictures. Well, a gross picture. I was showing them what the dentist had done to me, and he like destroyed part of my jaw. And I am so pissed. I am because I've never exactly been a supermodel, but if I'm going to, and he also knows, my dentist also knows I'm going through midlife crisis, and like when my insurance kicked in July 1st, I told him that I wanted us to get this done as soon as possible. You know, do a few extractions here, then do a few extractions there. You know, I think 10 at one time might be a bit much. I wish I researched it before because apparently, according to Harvard Medicine, apparently, since tooth extractions are traumatic and can be, having a lot done at one time could actually raise your chances of having a heart attack or a stroke. Thank God that did not happen. I can go back and see it. Ah, that's right, baby. Fair enough. I forgot that you can technically do that. I don't know why I forgot that. But, so, you know, I told him, like, you know, I need to get out there and try to start politicking and talking to people, and I can't look like shit doing it. I can't have a fucked up face. And, you know, I told him that my birthday is the end of September, this and that. So, like, since the 1st of July, he knew I wanted to get this done as soon as possible. You know, like, you know, have the teeth ready, have everything ready. And so that way I would have time to heal up. I was hoping to be healed up by August. And then that way all of September I could be out there trying to politic, meet people, you know, have a decent looking face, or at least a decent smile. I mean, my face is still my face, I guess. You know, can't win it all. But anyway, yeah. So he like would do he had set me an appointment to do X-rays, and I'm like, that's it. And then like a week or two later, he'd have me come in and do more X-rays, which makes no sense to me, but he did. I guess he was milking some extra insurance money, whatever. I don't know why he thinks changed in the week, but whatever. Anyway, and then the week after that or something, you'd have me come in for like those molds where you kind of bite down. Oh, excuse me. And you bite down so they get a shape with the idea of shaping your mouth and make the teeth for you. And then like a week or so later, had me come in again to do it. I mean, it was like he was dragging out the whole process as much as he could for as long as he could. And I'm like, what in the fuck is going on? He said, oh, well, there apparently was a problem with the first tray, to make the mold. And so I'm like, then why didn't you call me in like the next day so we could do it again? Like, why did you wait a whole fucking week and a half? That's fucking dumb. It's a waste of time. Anyway, so he drug it out as long as he possibly could, and then, December comes along, and he just absolutely ravages my mouth. It is fucking terrible. And, like, here we are, like, 3 weeks later, and, like, I can't speak correctly. The teeth I have don't fit correctly. Like, it took a week and a half for the swelling in my jaw to come down. I have never had a situation where with a tooth extraction, it took that long to recover, to heal, and all this other stuff. Like, the top row seemed to be doing kind of okay, although a second x-ray was done in another location. He had taken out the root canal. Apparently, he left some of the root canal behind. I'm not sure how you do that. I really don't know how you do that. I assume that would be a relatively easy extraction, but apparently, according to the x-ray, some of it is still there. So I don't know what the fuck he took out. But, yeah. So, that's a fucking mess. I think that x-ray they printed out for me, and that's in the car somewhere. So I just left it there, so I didn't know what to do with it. But, yeah. So, that is the horror story. And, like, of course, when you get your teeth removed, your face looks like it shrinks and wrinkles. So right now, I did some fibroblasts to my skin to it's kind of like a heat shrink kind of a thing. Like it creates little burns and it causes the skin to tighten. So that way, even though my face looks a little smaller and weird, it doesn't have like the wrinkles. So when my teeth are ready and correct, or whenever, because he wants me to come in October 26th to do more molds to redo the teeth. Because he was saying the teeth I have now that he gave me, and they're total crap, he said that he can, like, use like a Dremel in the places it needs it because so it'll fit correctly. But the way they did the mold, it causes the teeth to come at an outward angle, so it looks like horse teeth. You can't grind that down. You can't. Fuck it, I'll show you. You might as well know what I'm going through. Might as well show you. I look like a kid. So if you see fucked up stuff on my face, that's what the burns are. Oh, great! And you drop shit everywhere. The bottom row is okay. It's the top row that is fucking shit. Like, look how much those stick outward. They're supposed to be more straightened down. This is like, it creates a large overbite. I tried it. So they had shoved the tray as far back as they fucking could. So, like right there, you see a weird shape. That is the start of where my uvula is. That little thing that dangles in the back of your throat. That's how far back they shoved the fucking tray. That's what they did to me. So it created, so instead of the teeth being straight down, it creates this overbite. So my lip does not come over it. So it looks like a fucking horse. So yeah. So when I tell y'all that I got fucking butchered, I'm not trying to be melodramatic at all. Now there's times that I don't like something, I'll whine a little bit. But if I tell you I got butchered, I truly feel that I am not exaggerating when I say it. Was it the same dentist? What was the same dentist? The one that took the mold? Yeah. Well, his assistant took the mold. And she, like, and I tried to explain it. I was like, I think it's dug a little too far back. Like, I don't know how much of this is supposed to, like, how much of this is supposed to, just have to go down my throat, But, I don't know. But both times they took molds of it. In my mouth, they stuffed the tray too far back. So hey, Bigfoot, how are you, darling? So, yeah. So that's one of the reasons, I haven't streamed for a while, but, like, since this happened, this is why when I have been on people's streams, the camera has been off. Because, like, everywhere around my face, I look 35, 40. But right around my mouth, I feel like I look like I'm 80. And I hate it. It's hard to speak. Like I said, when I want to eat food, I have to pinch off pieces and put it, like, where my wisdom teeth used to be, because, like, the way it's shaped, that's where I can chew my food. So I can't just put food in my mouth and chew it. I have to strategically place it so I can chew food. And it has to be soft food. So, like, yeah. Like, my friend cooked steak, which I thought was kind of insensitive of him, because he knew my mouth was so damaged. And he felt bad for not thinking it through. So, like, he cut up, I mean, tiny pieces, like, almost shredded, but not quite. Gum it to death. I would, but my gums back in the far back, where my wisdom teeth used to be, when I close my mouth, they connect. So everything in the front will not connect. So I can't close my mouth enough to chew with my gums like that. Like, I don't really want to tell you guys. That's just like, leave them a bad Google review. I had, you can't leave more than one Google review. And in, like last year and everything, like, everything went fine. Even, like, early in the year, like, when they would, like, take out keys and stuff, everything was fine. And so I had left them a good Google review. Well, a couple weeks ago, I think, maybe 3 weeks ago, I took it down. I haven't written anything. I didn't write anything in its place, because I don't know if writing something negative will affect the case that I might have, and I don't want to risk that. So, like, until, like, the situation is handled one way or another, it could be considered liable or something, and I don't necessarily want to risk that. But I did politely ask him to print out a copy of the x-rays that he has taken since the start. They're in my file. And he looked a little hesitant, but he agreed to do so. Which, I mean, I'm glad, because I didn't really want to have to pull I legally have a right to my medical right. I didn't want to have to pull that line. I would have, but I didn't want to have to go there. And he did not make me go there, and I appreciate that. So he agreed, and he burned them to a disc for me. So that way, like, I can, like, it's on digital, so I can just give it to, like, whoever I want to give it to. But I don't want to wait till almost Halloween, and that's not even for teeth. He wants me to wait till October 26th to go in and have those trays put in my mouth to take a mold. And then it's going to be another 2 or 3 weeks, minimum probably, to have teeth crafted and made. So it might be sometime around Thanksgiving that I would actually have teeth again. It is so hard to try to meet new people, because a lot of times I pretty much all the time, if I'm going to go anywhere and talk to anyone, I wear a mask. Now, it's not that I'm for or against the mask mandate. I don't want to politicize that. That's not what I'm here to do. But I must admit, it is handy that a lot of people are wearing them, so I don't look weird being the only person walking around the town, so to speak, with something covering my mouth. But I would rather wear the mask because I choose to, not because I feel like a disfigured monster. Because even if people don't mean to, if you're talking, people kind of look at you in the eye, look at your nose, look at your mouth as you're talking. And I don't want them to stare at my mouth. I want them to hear what I have to say, not, like, secretly think, oh my God, I wonder what happened to her. Oh, that poor girl, or assume the worst and think I've done, like, drugs or something, and this is what happened. I don't want people, because when your teeth are fucked up and things like this happen, they don't just automatically assume malpractice. They don't automatically assume, oh, that poor girl, I bet she has a genetic issue that causes her teeth to degenerate, which I do, and I got it from my mother. But, people assume the worst when they see bad teeth, or no teeth at all. They assume the worst. And it's a very unfair thing. And I must admit that before this, there was times when I've seen people with bad teeth, and I made bad assumptions about them. I didn't say it to them, and I didn't go spreading stories about them. But that was the first judgment I made. And so maybe this is what I get for that. Like next time I see someone with like a fucked up mouth, I'm gonna try to assume something better about them next time. So I learned a lesson about that. So hopefully I can at least some way be a little bit better about the way I judge people. I'll admit. Oh, what the hell? Awesome. Oh, darn it. Sorry, that didn't work at first because something's wrong with my keyboard settings. Usually with the cursor, I can just double tap on something and it works. Now I have to put the cursor over it and then hit the button. So I forgot that I had to do that. Muscle memory is a bitch.
Well, I'm here. Hello, everybody in the chat. Hey, Maura, happy birthday!
Thank you so much, man. Listen, man, you're like a little Care Bear. You're just like I can just see the sunshine, or I'm sorry, the rainbows just coming off your tummy right now. Hey there, there.
I haven't
Like
seen that show in a long time.
I know, but you seem so warm and fuzzy. You sound so cuddly and cute. Like I just want to like put you in like my bag with me and take you places with me. Like, you do, and I mean that in the nicest way. Like
Oh, I know. Thank you.
I guess I can't mean that in a bad way. I can't imagine, but still, like, but
Gummy
yeah,
bears.
you sound like you just sound like a live Care Bear. You just sound so sweet and lovable. It's like, oh my goodness.
Hey,
You would
DJ
be
Lone
great.
Wolf.
Oh, hello, DJ Lone Wolf. How are you doing? How are you, sweet lady? Oh my God, you have to go. You have to. I think about 10 minutes into the beginning of the video of this live stream, we'll give you a general idea of this shit show. Because the first like 8 minutes or so is me just saying hi to people and half bitching before I really got into the full layout of the bitching. Because yeah. I wanted to make sure everybody was here because I didn't. Even though I do tend to repeat myself, like yeah. But oh my God, yeah. I gotta admit, it's very embarrassing to show people what has happened. But like, I didn't want people to think I'd been melodramatic either. And because Orville Nation, he doesn't like to uh, promote political stuff one way or another. He had put up a post because I had mentioned what happened to the dentist and everything, and it was a miscommunication. And so like I mentioned that both things were an issue, both needing political funds and also like possibly needing some money because I can only eat certain foods because my mouth's fucked up, and like possibly having to pay a dentist that is not covered by Sooner Care to because he might be a more high tech dentist and might be able to get a better like 3D X-ray, for instance. Not every dentist has that to get a better look at the damage. And so he posted, and I felt so bad. He posted that I was facing serious medical issues or health issues, and I needed money. And I was like, oh my God. And so I clarified underneath. I clarified that I was not dying. That the dentist did butcher me, but I am not dying. Like I didn't want people to think that like I needed a heart transplant or something. Like I didn't want it to sound quite that bad. Like it sound like he made it sound like I was gonna die. And I appreciate the enthusiasm he put into that tweet for me. Like, but like I wanted to clarify to folks that it was not a life or death situation or anything like that. But that indeed I was I was like I got pretty fucked up. And so yeah. That way, like if people want to donate, they're totally welcome to. But I don't want them to think my life depends on it. Like in that way, like I don't want
Mm,
people to feel like I'm swindling them. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, like I want it like legit. And if they want to donate to the campaign, they can. Cause I explained that in the comment of that tweet that like originally I was just wanting like help with the campaign, but like if they want to donate to either or, that's great. Both are appreciated at this time. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at because like that dentist up in Edmond, like yeah, I think they said the exam and the X-ray and everything I would need is like 150 or something. It's 180 or 150. I cannot remember. I mean, if anybody wants to donate, you can low bar it and go for the 150 part of that because I know it was not less than that. Because I mean, it's a fancy place with high tech stuff, so they're gonna charge you like it. But but I might have to find someone who has something more sophisticated than old-fashioned X-rays to see the extent of the damage. And to see the extent of the damage would be part to show and get a couple of opinions of doctors or whatever to determine, does it look like more was done than should have been done? Is there anything that he could have done to prevent the damage? That kind of stuff. And I told him I was disappointed. Like, I mean, how are you not going to refill me or get me a different prescription for like antibiotics? Really, it's not like it's an opiate I'm asking for, you know? Like, and I asked him how the health committee is possibly ignoring it, because there was a follow-up visit after that. And so that's when I kind of, as calmly as I could, I was so upset. So I was still upset. I'm still upset now, like even now. And I'm like, why would you ignore me when I told you antibiotics weren't working and you wouldn't even like write me a script for new ones? Like, why would you not? He didn't really give me much of an answer, I don't think. I recorded that visit. I don't know. I think that's still on my phone. I don't think I uploaded that to to YouTube. There is a few videos I have uploaded to YouTube that are set to private because they're not for public viewing, like the dentist visit. Like that's at my discretion. Like, oh, here to show people. But it was taking up a lot of space on my phone because it's about 20 minutes long. And so that takes up a lot of space. And so I just uploaded it there. So I could clear off my phone, but put it on private, so like not everybody's seeing it unless I want them to. And so the other video, the follow-up visit after that, is still on my phone. I had not uploaded that one just yet. Why I haven't, I basically forgot, quite frankly. It hasn't been taking up a lot of space because that visit's only about 15 minutes long. It didn't take long to just do a quick inspection. And that was actually the day I was going to start working at the fairgrounds during the fair. And I have a piece of, I don't know if it's tooth or bone, I can't tell. They're very similar material. But there's a piece up on the upper right side, on the outer side, where like a wisdom tooth or the tooth in front of that, because you can't really tell by the feel of it which tooth that would have come from. I can't quite tell. It's almost like in the middle of where those two places are. And sometimes bones, fragments can migrate a little bit, but I can feel it with my tongue, and it's like a little blade, but it doesn't hurt. And there is a piece of bone fragment. They almost, you know how someone has a labret piercing, they have their bottom lip piercing in the dead center?
Mm-hmm.
Just a couple millimeters to the left of that. Inside, on the outer part of the gum, I can feel another bone splinter or something. And he asked me if I wanted to take him out. And I was like, dude, I have to be at work in like an hour. I do not want to go there bleeding and half numb.
Mm-mm.
And plus, to be honest, I'm so upset with you right now, I don't know if I can trust you anymore. I mean, I said it, and I sounded stern, but I didn't yell at him. I didn't raise my voice. You know what I mean? Like, part of me really wanted to, but I don't see how that would have done anything but made a scene in the entire fucking office, quite frankly. You know, and so, I actually wanted my teeth customized slightly. Like, it would not, he told me it would not be any sweat for the person who crafts these type of things, these teeth, to do. And because it's a genetic trait, and it comes from my dad, I had it, I'm supposed to have it, you know, I don't have teeth now, and my daughter has it, that the front teeth are, I guess, probably about where they're normally supposed to be, and then the two teeth on either side of your front teeth are set back a little bit, and then the canines are about where they should be. But it makes them look a little more predominant because those two teeth on either side of the front teeth are set back a bit. But it's a genetic trait. I've never seen I can't find pictures of my grandparents smiling to see if either one of them had it. But my dad had it, I had it, my daughter has it. And so I wanted my smile to reflect my genetic traits that I carry. And plus, you know, it's a family thing, you know what I mean? And so when he was talking about my teeth, he did not say your customized smile, your teeth the way you requested. He called it weird. And I turned my head, and the side eye I gave him. I said, if someone has requested that their teeth look a certain way because of a genetic family trait, it is not polite to call it weird. You can call it customized, you can call it unique, but to call it weird is insulting to a person's genetic trait. And, oh, thank you, Optic Racer. And so, yeah, he kind of looked down. He's like, I apologize. That was the wrong word to use. I'm sorry. And I kind of nodded my head. I didn't feel like saying it's okay. Like, I didn't feel like it was okay. But I nodded my head to acknowledge that he had apologized. And we dropped that subject. So, like, I will give him credit. He did apologize for his word usage. But I was still, like, I'm still so upset with him for everything else that's happened. Like, it's really hard to say I forgive him for anything right now. And I'm really thinking, if someone wants their teeth made a certain way, why would you call it weird? That's unprofessional as fuck. Even if I wanted my teeth to look like vampire teeth, you know, that's my personal preference, and that's not what I asked for. But that even if I wanted that, calling it weird is unprofessional as fuck. It is. I'm sorry. That's how I feel. Right, Burr? Bedside manner of the sledgehammer. No fucking shit. Bedside manner of the sledgehammer with a pair of pliers. You finally turned 21. Lone Wolf, you are the sweetest liar. Oh my god. I love it. Oh my god. I love it. So yeah, so let's see. We could jump to I've turned 20 for the second time. Woo! Man, I wish I looked the way I did when I was 20. Fuck. Right now, if you're having a midlife crisis, not having teeth does not make that situation better at all. Because even when my teeth weren't great, I still felt better I had them. Now I feel like I feel like I'm less of a person because part of me is missing. I don't feel like a complete person. And that it's very hard to the self-esteem when you didn't exactly have a really high self-esteem to start with, you know? So, yeah. So how was your day today, Raquel?
Good. I slept in today. Really needed it. I was like, for the past 2 days, I haven't been really getting much sleep. But I did today, so I feel really refreshed.
I am glad you're feeling pretty tail. Well, I'm picturing you pretty tail. I don't know why. I'm picturing like a little fishy squirrel tail, like all better.
I'm surprised that your dentist has really botched up your mouth.
I'm surprised too. Like,
Because they're
I was because I don't go to a lot of dentists.
professional, and I'm kind of shocked that that happened to you. I'm so sorry that you're such in pain.
I mean, I'm surprised at it too because I'm just like I don't even know how to act right now. Like because it's a small independent dentist office he has. It's not like one of those big fancy ones or one of those dental franchises or anything like that. So I mean, it's a good thing I assume any medical personnel has like that has a place has medical insurance, and that's what that's for. Because I mean, I wouldn't want to sue the guy to the point where him and his son have to live under a bridge or some shit. Like I'm not trying to do that. But I really feel that some kind of recompense is required at this point for the emotional and physical trauma of the situation. Because like he already knew I was scared of dentists. He knows I have anxiety. He knows I take anxiety medication. It's in my folder. That's why when he prescribed Percocet, which is probably the most because I think certain doctors can't prescribe certain opiates. You know, like he wouldn't be able to prescribe morphine, but he could prescribe Percocet. You know what I'm saying? Like I think there's certain levels they can and cannot do. And he made sure to let me know that if I do like if I can take my anxiety medication at night, but take the pain medicine in the day, but don't take them too close together because a bad reaction could happen. And that scared me enough that I just took ibuprofen. And because honestly, I tried the Percocet once, and it didn't really take any edge off. I mean, it took a little edge off, but about the same as the ibuprofen. It was really about the same. So I might as well just take something that costs like $3 for the bottle than an opiate anyway. Like Like, it's useless. To me, it's fucking useless. But yeah, somebody in the comments was surprised because, and he prescribed you an opiate? I'm like, it's the least we could do. But it doesn't really work on me. Like, even morphine doesn't work on me. It has to be synthetic morphine, something called Dilaudid. Because I've been at a hospital before and they gave me morphine and it did nothing. I'm like, maybe it's a bad batch, but it's not working. They're, let's give it another few minutes. I'm like, okay, I'll sit here and hurt some more for a few minutes. Okay. And they came back and they saw that I was not affected. Like, I wasn't drowsy, I wasn't, whoa, woozy. I didn't show any signs that the morphine was working at all. I still hurt. I was completely clear, completely lucid, like, completely not under the influence of anything. And they're like, huh, let's try something different. And that's when they discovered, I discovered Dilaudid. And apparently that fucking worked. I'm like, oh, hello. Yeah, you found whatever works. Yeah. So, yeah. So I try to make sure that, like, because of the way things are, I have to make sure, I don't want to tell them what does work, I have to try and tell them what doesn't work. Because otherwise they think you're drug chasing. And I'm not, no. First off, I'm too broke for that shit. I don't have time for that shit. No. So I just tell them what doesn't work and let them figure it out from there. It's about all I can do. Ooh, Darius. Ooh. Aww.
Darius here. Hey, Darius. Hey, DJ B2.
Oh, hey,
Happy
B2.
birthday,
How are you
Moira.
doing? I'm sorry,
Hey,
what?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was saying hi
Okay.
to B2, and then I heard you talk, and I was like, shit, we spoke at the same time. My
Well,
bad.
I had to adjust my mic settings earlier. Happy birthday, Moira.
Thank you. I told everybody we were going to hang out on your stream later. I just said, I felt like I had to bitch and complain about some shit today. Like, it's been building up for a while because it's like pretty much most of the month of September. I think September 7th, 7th or 8th, I think, is when my tooth extraction happened and all this trauma started. And so, like, it's been, like, the whole month of September has been absolutely ruined. And I even told him, like, I told him in July how, like, I want to be able to be healed up and ready to go by, like, the end of August because I understand it takes time to heal. And he just drug his feet as long as he could and then like bull in a china shop with my mouth. I'm like, oh my god. And now I'm trying to figure out, like, oh, they messed up the whole process from beginning to end. Oh, they did fine with the X-rays. Like X-rays they didn't fuck up, and they've actually done extractions before this major event, and everything was fine. I mean, it seemed like they took out more bone than was necessary, but I healed, and my jaw didn't swell up the way it did this time. This time was a tornado. And, like, I've told a few people that, like, yeah, it blew out, like, the side of a tire. And I think they probably, like, they didn't tell me I was being melodramatic, but they probably thought it, because it sounds like I'm being melodramatic. But that picture I showed, that was 8 days after. So at that point, the skin is starting to retract and starting to try to heal. So it doesn't look quite as deep as it did the day it actually happened, which I do have a picture of. It would require me sending another picture to Facebook Messenger to show everybody. But it was pretty much about that bad, but just a little deeper the day it happened. So, yeah. Aw, well, good night, Long Wolf. We'll miss you. Hey, Chrissy. Lots of hugs to you.
Good night, DJ Lone Wolf.
Yeah, I gotta admit, it's definitely embarrassing to freaking show people, like, a gutted up, torn up mouth, but, yeah. At least on the upside, people will be like, okay, she wasn't fucking around. She wasn't joking. Dang. You know? Like, I see her point. Because I don't want people to, like, if I'm hinting or looking into the idea of possibly, I don't know, is this a civil matter? I don't know what this is. So, I mean, it wasn't like I don't think he purposely tried to fuck up my face, because that would be, like, career ender to do that on purpose. But, like, I don't know, but, like, some kind of action for this situation. I didn't want people to think I was just Sue happy for no fucking reason and just like, oh, he's one of those Karen types that want to sue about stuff. Like, no. It's bad. It's really, really, really bad. And so I just knew, and I told him like 2 weeks ago, it's like, dude, you've ruined my birthday. I already know you have. And he, like, I don't know how sincere, because he's kind of soft-spoken as it is, so I don't know if he even really meant it when he said he was sorry. He's like, yeah, I know, I'm sorry. And I'm like, I mean, I don't really know what to say at that point, because I mean, if someone told me to go fuck myself, I know what to say. But if you can't tell if someone's apology is even legitimate, I mean, it kind of takes the wind out of my sail. I don't really know what to say to them. I mean, I guess I could have been like, you ought to be, but then, you know, that's something else. One of those things where this is just so bad, like, it's never going to heal correctly. Like, it would probably take reconstructive surgery to fix it.
Oh my god.
Like, I mean, I don't want to gross people out. I mean, although what I showed is probably just really embarrassing. So, but well, you'll have a comparison, I guess. Well, you may have to count those green screens as that fucking thing. So, off. And don't worry about like the markings you see on my face. That was called fibroblast, and it tightens the skin. Because I didn't want to have wrinkled mouth area, because that just makes it so much worse looking than it already is. And I don't want to look old and toothless, for fuck's sake. Anyway, so over here, you can see it's like kind of butchered, and it curves around like normal. That does not. That's after the skin is healed. There's a big gutted spot.
Ouch.
That's structural damage. That's not skin damage. That's structural damage. That will never be normal again without work. And it makes now I'm oh man, I'm so sorry. I showed y'all now I should really put that in there. Like, I mean, kind of thinking about it, but like, you think about it too much, you start to get upset. But yeah, just knowing that for the first time in my life, I trusted a dentist. And I told him that. He was the first dentist I ever trusted, and I told him I felt absolutely betrayed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he fully understands, although I think he has the general idea now, because most people don't ask for a copy of their x-rays just to, put them out and put them on the wall. No. They do it because they're thinking about doing something. So I think he knows how upset. I don't know if he even knows how much damage he's done. I asked him to do a 3D x-ray after he'd done the extraction, and then went back to either first or second follow-up. I asked him to do an x-ray, and he said he did not think that was required because all it's going to show is bone. I'm like, that's the point! That was exactly why. But he wouldn't give me the x-ray. And I think he probably, because the first time I saw a 3D x-ray he had taken, he had already extracted like a couple of teeth, one side or the other, I don't remember now. I think it was like, yeah, it was over here, and a couple down here. That's what he extracted. And it looked like quite a bit of bone was missing. Like, if anybody has ever seen those historical pictures where it showed, like, women who had had exposure to radium or phosphorus, it looked like that kind of bone loss. It looked like that kind of damage. And I freaked, and I cried. Like, this is embarrassing, but it looked so bad. And this was before he took out the 10 teeth he did recently. 10 at one time. So, yeah. So I have to go places, and if I want to speak to people, it's so hard to pronounce words correctly. It sounds like I'm slurring, like I'm drunk. And that's embarrassing. Who's going to take me seriously if I sound like I'm drugged or drunk? And there are people occasionally that you talk to who are like, those masks don't work. And it's like, it's hiding my disfigurement. And that's embarrassing to try and explain. Because, I mean, people are like, let's not politicize masks. Then don't complain if I wear one. Like, really. Like, then don't complain that I wear one, alright? I'm not complaining that you're not wearing one. I don't complain if you do. So, like, I actually ran into there was like this thing where this guy who wants to run against Mayor Holt of Oklahoma City, a guy named Frank Urbanic. And apparently, there was a lady there. Apparently, I didn't know who she was at the time. But it turns out she's a super rich chick. And, like, I was talking to someone who's going to be replacing the district attorney, David Prater. And it's a guy named Robert Gray. So I was chatting with him for a second. and she was over here, and she introduced herself, and she's like, those masks don't work. And I was like, that's because the dentist butchered me. That's why I'm wearing it. And she looked at me with surprise, and I pulled the mask down and let her see, and she was like, she gets her phone out, and she goes, okay, I know a few dentists, and I have family members who are dentists. Hold on. And so I'm like, I'm kind of poor. She goes, all right, forget this guy. He's kind of expensive. So she's trying to, like, give me a list of, like, dentists that I might be able to go to fix it. And she was like, oh, God love you. Like, that surprised the fuck out of her. So, like, I think she was a little embarrassed that she had commented on the mask, and she might not. I think she probably might not do it again. Like, because that did not turn out the way she expected. Because a lot of times the mask is kind of politicized. There's like, I mean, it's not always, because I've seen some Republicans that wear it too, but it seems to be a common argument back and forth that Republicans aren't as big about wearing it as Democrats. So, like, if you're meeting people who happen to be Republican, and you're literally the only person wearing a mask, you look like you're trying to infiltrate. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, no. It's because I look like a hideous monster under here. Actually, that is what I'm saving y'all from. Because if I'm going to talk about politics or, oh, wow, you're replacing the district attorney. Thank goodness. Because that guy's been, like, in office for 20 years, needs to go. That's awesome. We're going to have, like, a new person in. Things like that. I want them to hear what I'm saying, not what my face looks like. And I know people are creatures of habit, and they don't mean to. But sometimes they can't help but stare at something that doesn't look right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if someone's a burn victim, they have a burn scar. You're not going to try to stare at it, but once in a while your eye is going to kind of catch on it for a second. It doesn't mean you try to be. It's just human nature. We're used to something being a certain way, and if it looks different, it catches our eye, whether we need to or not. And so I wanted to avoid that altogether, so I have a couple of different masks. Even when I go to the drive-thru, I'll have my mask down or off because I'm in the car by myself, so who gives a shit. And I'll do my best to order. I can say the word ice, kind of. If I tell her I want my drink to have light ice, that becomes a problem. The pair I'm saying together, it gets a list. Oh my God, that's terrible. Apparently, my list has a list. Fuck. Anyway, so that happens at the drive-thru. It's already hard to be understood at the drive-thru microphone anyway. So anytime I do that, it's always a thing. And then I put the mask on before I get up to the window so they don't have to see my face. So when they're like, here, and I'm like, oh, thank you so much. You automatically want to smile and say thank you when they give you your order. And I don't want them to see my mouth because it looks awful. So I have to wear a mask just so I don't have people stare at my mouth. The more I talk about it, the more I want to fucking go scream at that dentist. But I guess, I don't know, if people want to throw in some money, I might try to go see that dentist up in Edmond because he's got more fancy equipment and would be able to get a nice, more detailed layout of the bone structure than the regular black and white x-rays because they just show you little tidbits. They're not very clear. And if you have sinus issues, you see this smoky image around here. It's so out of date. Like, I don't think anybody should use those anymore. Those 3D, that's where it's at. All dentist offices should have 3D x-rays like that. They really ought to. But yeah, I think it's like I couldn't remember because it was like 150 or 180 for that visit. But even if someone sends 150, like I'd be able to cover the 30 if I'm wrong about that. And I might call them like either tomorrow or the next. Call them tomorrow and see if I can get an appointment in for like the other place. Because the other place said they'll give me an exam and check me, and it won't cost me anything for the sooner care. The other place that has the better equipment will cost because my insurance does not cover them. So, and then if I can at least have a couple of dentists agree that like what happened could have been avoided, and I believe that it truly could have been, that would at least be something. And a lot of times when a situation like this happens, usually the doctor's insurance will settle just to save time and trouble for everyone. They'll usually settle. And I would need to figure out how much, like, if what needs. I do not want full jaw reconstructive surgery. I don't think I can deal with it. I couldn't. It's taken so long to heal as it is. I don't think I could. I can't go through it again. But if there is some way, like if they could do like an incision in a few places and put that filament into the bone area to try to make the jaw more structurally sound, like that I could consider doing. Calculate the cost of that, and then kind of go from there. Because I mean, I don't expect to become a millionaire off the guy or anything. That's not. This is not what this is about. And plus, I think that if it's possible, him agreeing to go to like, because doctors have these like things where they go on trips or classes to get more updated on the most up to date techniques for different things. Like all doctors have those. Like whether it's anesthesiology, heart, cancer, dental, they all have these things where they go and get learn up on the newest techniques and ways of doing things. I feel like that should be part of it because I don't want him to do this to anyone else. I want him to figure out what he did wrong, and I want to make sure that it doesn't happen to somebody else again. And yes, money does help. Money does make it feel a little better that like it wasn't all for nothing. But like yeah, it's not all about the money. It's not like the hot coffee situation where and actually true story. Like actually the famous McDonald's coffee lady thing. He was only asking for the amount to cover the medical bills. It was the judge who decided that she deserved more and ruled that way. But everybody thought she sued for millions. That was not her actual goal.
Right.
He wanted, I think it was like $20,000 or something like that to cover the medical bills because apparently the coffee was so hot she needed skin grafting. And it was around the lap area, like around like the pelvic region. And that's not a place you want to get burned. So, yeah. But apparently the judge felt so bad for her and how bad it was, and he thought she deserved more, so he ruled even more so in her favor. And that's actually the story of it. So people for years have made jokes about the McDonald's woman, getting millions because she burnt herself with coffee. But the coffee, come to find out, they did studies and they actually found out that the coffee was way hotter than it actually needed to be. Yeah, so it turned out that McDonald's actually was at fault because there's a limit how hot your coffee actually needs to be. It should not. I understand having your coffee fresh and hot, but it does not need to actually be able to burn like all the way through plastics and shit and skin. Like it doesn't need to actually be that hot. That's completely unnecessary. And there's no telling how many people that's actually like burned the tissue of their mouth and throat before, like that didn't sue,
Yeah.
And I'm assuming because I've seen signs over the years, so I don't know how easy it is. But I'm sure there's some kind of lawyer out there who will like, because if you get a lawyer, usually they'll try to settle it, and it won't have to be a huge fiasco. But like, he won't get paid unless you get paid because I'm poor. Basically, it's two poor people. One poor person basically trying to sue someone who's just a little bit less poor. It's basically it. But that's what medical insurance is for. That's why doctors have malpractice insurance. His premiums will probably go up, but maybe he'll not butcher the next person. And who knows? I don't know if he's ever done this to someone else before. And who knows? Like I said, what if he does it to someone else again?
I mean, it's possible, I guess.
Well, I mean, he said that the reason this happened is very common. Then you should have been able to prevent.
Common? I have never heard.
I never heard of it either, but he said it's
common. I highly doubt that.
Well, he told me I could look it up, but he said that like around this area, a lot of times the tissue is thin, and sometimes it happens more often than people realize. And I'm thinking that actually doesn't make me feel better. That means I feel like if you were having a problem, you should have been able to make like an incision to help remove it, so that way you can control the tear. I feel like that is something he could have done to reduce the amount of damage done. And so if it's that common, you should have been able to foresee that might have been an issue and taken some kind of precaution. And yeah, so now if it had been a shock and a surprise and he had never seen that in his entire life, I would feel a little less pissed off because if you didn't realize something was possible, I could see a mistake happening. But trying to comfort me somehow by telling me it's common, I think that's a backfire. That is a definite backfire right there. Hello, Dr. Corbin. How
Hey,
are
Dr.
you?
Corbin.
Oh, hey, Doc Forbin.
How would you drink coffee that was hot? Well, I don't. Well, I mean, people oftentimes will try to take a little sip and realize it's too hot and let it sit there for a while so it cools down. So I think what happened with the coffee lady is that, like, because I think it was they went through the drive-through, and so like the lid might not have been put on there correctly, which is common. That happens a lot. I've noticed. Sometimes I have to make sure the lid is secured. Um, it's possible like they hit a bump because a lot of times McDonald's drive-through has those little speed bumps and shit to make sure you're not going fast, and it might have that might be where it's filtered. It got spilt on her. It might have been that situation. This is why I like iced coffee. That shit don't happen.
I don't
And
drink
if
coffee.
if I do have hot coffee, I have it at home. That way, I know it's temperature controlled, and I'm not in a moving vehicle. Hot things in a moving vehicle is not a good idea.
No.
Oh my neck.
And I don't drink coffee. I just have orange juice.
And you, girl, you drink a lot of acidic stuff and eat a lot of acidic stuff, and that was what I was getting back when I was talking about earlier, or not earlier, but it was like a couple of weeks ago that you were talking about having like your stomach irritation. Acidic stuff like that can do that over a period of time. It can start damaging the lining of your stomach. That's why I was suggesting that baking soda, like if you can make it into a capsule,
Mm-hmm.
that way you don't have to taste it, and take like one a day.
Well,
to reduce the acid.
I took a Pepto-Bismol and that really helped.
Girl, that's got aluminum in it.
Yeah, I get you, but it really helped my stomach.
Baking soda would too, and it's cheaper. And no side effects, except maybe burping. And it doesn't have heavy metals. That's not good. You don't.
I know it says it's bubblegum flavor, but it doesn't taste like bubblegum.
Yeah, it's a lie. Yeah, it's a total lie. Like, I feel strongly I have to like save you from the Pepto. Tums too. Tums also has aluminum. There is no good reason for that. There is no legit purpose for that. Hell, they would save money if they would just use baking soda in its place. Hello, Catman Myers again.
Hello, Catman
Hey, Dee Dee.
Myers.
He came in his other account earlier. Now he's in this one.
He's got another one?
Yeah, he's Dee Dee Myers on the other one,
Oh, yeah.
and it's got like a little. I think it's got a kitty cat for an avatar. Thank you. Lots of hugs, Catman. Yeah. At least my meow's not broken, and my purr still works, kinda. I think my purr has to work. No, it still works. Oh no, B2's like, my kitty is out and I worry. Well, go get your kitty! Go save your kitty! Oh, I just had 3 private messages I did not know, but I didn't see that. Oh, that probably would have been handy for me to like go to segue earlier.
What, in the private chat?
Yeah, all that has pretty much expired. Like,
Is my sound okay?
yes,
Mhm.
sounds fine. Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, y'all gotta talk because I had talking all these poor people's ear off about my disfigurement. But man, I only get to see my therapist for like 45 minutes, like once a week. So you know, I got some built up here. I told her about it too, and she was like, "Holy crap!" Like I showed her the picture, like I showed everybody. She was like, "That poor woman. I don't think she was ready for that. Thank goodness she was sitting down." So what are we going to be doing later this evening? Okay. And
Well, my original plan was to do a happy birthday stream for you on my channel, but it might be redundant now.
Not necessarily.
No.
It's up to you.
It's
This was not really. I mean, people were saying happy birthday, but it wasn't like a birthday stream. It was me venting and explaining to people what happened to my face and like because they've seen the post like the medical issue, and so I wanted them to understand what it was, and it wasn't necessarily life threatening, although it does feel life changing and not in a good way. And like because I had the camera off, my talking is weird, and I wanted everyone to kind of get a full understanding of the situation because they were only getting like bits and pieces because it's really embarrassing for people to see me in this condition. But I wanted them to understand it wasn't like I was trying to be grifting everybody or something. It was legitimately damage was done, and like I don't know what the recovery is going to be like. I mean, I know that type of structural damage cannot ever fully recover without some kind of medical interference or intervention. Sorry, intervention is a more appropriate word. But I mean, if people are going to donate, I mean, whether they do or they don't, I mean, I want them to see that if I have a complaint, it is a legitimate complaint, and they have a right to see like that what I'm saying is the truth. If people, I mean, so that's why I kind of sort of, I don't know if word coming out is appropriate, but I don't know about how else to phrase it, but showing the nitty gritty of the situation.
JJ, you are never out of beer.
Oh, I
So
mean,
you're gonna be fine.
Drinking it, he technically could be. If he didn't plan ahead and ran
He's
low.
probably have like a backup case somewhere.
Or he'll have to switch to wine.
Oh dear. We don't want to get like white girl wasted on wine. No.
Wait, red wine or white?
I don't drink alcohol, so I gotta say I need to.
I'm not much of a drinker. Also,
I used to be quite the drinker. Tequila was my thing. I could drink more tequila than anybody I knew.
I used to like gin.
That's a little harsh. I
Yeah.
personally noticed that Cuervo Gold had a sweeter, smoother flavor to it. Of course, you have to drink it for a while to be able to actually notice a sweeter flavor because if you're not used to it, you kind of don't notice it.
are you into the red wine?
Who? What?
I
Oh,
couldn't drink that
red.
much red
Oh,
wine.
red. To each his own. Like I find them both dry. I mean, you can make red wine kind of dryish, but like white wines are known for being drier. But I'm always I'm always the kind of person that if I did have wine, I'd add a bit of sugar to it because it just like it's still my dad was a winemaker and his stuff was never dry. Like it was more like a sherry. It was kind of like a sweet wine.
Yeah.
So I mean, it had more chutzpah to it. We don't know what the alcohol content is because we didn't have a way to measure it. I mean, he made it at home, so we don't know. But she's coughing. Definitely dry wine makes me go. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I can't. I got put sugar. I don't. God, I think I have not drank in.
You're drinking beer to water down the wine, DJ.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna work.
I mean, it dilutes it,
Does that make
kind
sense?
of, but I mean, I'm not. He's gonna make himself sick though. Like, cause there's some quote about the, wine before liquor and beer before liquor. Like, I can't remember how it goes, but but life experience has told me that mixing your alcohol is a terrible idea.
I have a question, Darius, in the chat, in the public chat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, yeah. I saw that. Optic Racer asks, Darius, can you guys make a live sometime using public domain movies found here? You can, but sometimes YouTube fucks up and they end up
They do some
striking
weird
a channel like our good friend, Mr. Londell, who always showed public domain
that's
movies.
weird. I don't get why they would do that to him. Like me, like I would show silent movies, and they wouldn't even like try to strike or copyright the whole film. It was like a 12-second clip. Like someone had copywritten, I guess, just that clip of it. I didn't even know you could do that, but whatever.
Yeah,
And
YouTube
so,
is
yeah,
very strict.
it's very
What
weird.
you
Like,
what you show on screen in
Yeah,
terms of movies and TV shows. I know it sounds ridiculous, but
I mean, they
that's
let somebody else have those movies on the channel, and it's not the actual company who owns it or anything, or did own it, whose name it's under. But they allowed them to be on. But like, if I use it, then I'm the asshole. I'm like,
yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to do a movie live stream. But everyone can see it, but the audience, and YouTube itself cannot see it.
right.
I'm trying to figure out a way to do that.
Now, there's this thing that I tried, and it was very shitty, but I think there's systems out there that are better. And it's like a second website where you can put the link in, and it's almost like a chat room. And you can show the movie in the chat room, kind of, and the audience can like have this window open for like your view time, and can chat here, but they can also like have this other window open here, where like they can see how many people are in the room watching the movie with you, and not be YouTube. The one I did try was crap, because apparently people in the audience could control what was going on, including fast forwarding it, rewinding it, and I was like,
Cosme?
The name does not sound familiar. So
okay, because I know Bird uses. Well, actually, Bird uses something else. I think Tim uses Cosme, and then Paulie uses Discord. Doc Forbin has a 3-parter here. He says we should celebrate with a movie watch, and then after I said we could, but we wouldn't be able to broadcast, he said private is way better between friends. And then further down, he said, I'm all about private streams because that is what really matters between friends. So that's his suggestion, just doing a private movie watch. But it's your birthday,
I wouldn't
Maura.
mind trying silent movies, because even when they like gave me a copyright notice, I didn't get a strike for it. Like, they didn't strike me for it. They just basically were like, oh, well, I guess we're taking a certain amount of money from you because of that. So I just delete the stream altogether. I'm like, no, I'm not playing this game.
I got a copyright claim last Monday. Or this past Monday.
Yeah, that's all they've ever given me. I don't think they've ever given me a strike, which is kind of weird. Like, it's something that would have given me a strike. They just shut my stream down altogether. They just shut it down until I stopped playing it. Then they resumed the play, and it's weird.
Mine was just a 1-minute clip from another YouTube channel that someone who was my guest shared, and I'm not really bothered by it, but it was the first time I'd gotten a copyright claim. And,
wow, that's weird.
They showed me exactly where in the video it was, told me who owned it, and then I have the option to blur it out or clip it out. But until I do...
But it doesn't work very well, because I've tried clipping out that part, like when they told me that's an option, and it'll process for like 2 hours, and I just give up and delete it because it's not working.
But until I remove it, that video can be monetized by the copyright owner. So even though I'm not monetized, people who watch that video could see an ad, and then that revenue will go to Red Letter Media.
Right. That's craziness.
Right. So if I clip it out, it will only be to stop anyone from seeing an ad.
Right.
I don't care about Red Letter Media getting money.
I have YouTube Premium or whatever it is, so like I don't have to worry about ads popping up when I'm showing like a silent movie or something. So that's a bonus at least. And some people, they can get away with like showing a 1-minute clip or less and they don't get in trouble, but like there's times when I've tried it and man, I got in trouble. I'm like, what? Like I got in trouble one time, and it was like near the end of 2009. It was like around this time in 2019. And we were showing previews of movies from like the 80s. Like it was the trailer. Like it wasn't the whole movie. It was like coming soon, Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator. And it starts showing the clips of like, so it's just the trailers that were already on YouTube. It's not even going to take away from their box office money. It's movies that are old enough to like have lower insurance, for God's sake. And they were hitting me with fucking claims all over the place for doing it. I'm like, it's just a preview of a movie that is old enough to vote. It's not like I was, just putting out spoilers for a film that hadn't come out yet or anything. Like, they were being completely out of pocket.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even show a preview without someone throwing a fit. Like,
Do you hear a hum in the background?
no.
Okay, good.
I think someone said they were hearing like an odd echo sound coming from Raquel, but I didn't hear it.
It's not for me.
Well, I'm just saying that's what they saw. I didn't say that's what was the case. It said they. But what they're hearing and what we're hearing can be two different things.
Mhm.
Because we don't usually hear echoes up here, but we usually hear it on the YouTube channel itself, if it's there. I don't know why, but it's just sort of how it is. And the echo is probably my fault. It's always my fault.
Doc Forbin says yes. Is that yes to hearing a hum or yes to what I said
It's probably
about?
to the hum.
Yeah,
Because you did ask that question. And so,
Let me mute my
considering
mic.
how much time it takes for a response to show it, I think that lines up correctly. It's 7. I'm trying to think if I want to wrap this up and then like everybody like reconvene later. Like, do you want to do like the stream around like 9 or 10 or something or whatever? Like I'm pretty unpicky. I think Darius is working on his mic at the moment, so we'll give him a second.
Well, I'm turning my mic on and off so you can tell me if you hear a difference.
I don't hear anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't hear anything. I just see it muted and not muted. I don't hear a single sound. Oh, I don't hear it. I didn't know if that said see or hear.
I want to sound so good for you, Moira.
You always do, baby. Oh my god! I forgot you had that soundboard. I should have been more careful. No Mora, no echo. Thanks, Dr. Forbin.
Oh, Moira, I dropped a link for.
That was so cute. I miss being able to speak correctly. Like, if I want to enunciate certain words, I have to, really, recondition the way my mouth normally moves to talk. It is so annoying. It's almost like relearning to talk again. Like, ugh. Although, thankfully, the thing at Starbucks my daughter likes, I forget what it's called off the top of my head, but apparently I can say it perfectly. It does not require any of the words or letters that I would have an issue with. It was like Star Ribbon Crunch. Or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. It's something like that I was able to say clear enough that I didn't have any problem. I'm like, oh, thank God your order was easy. Friends have come up with a digital game like Tide. Oh, you have to come up. Which one? Oh, is he? I see which one he's playing. Is it that one that's kind of like Monopoly, but you go around the squares? Is that what he's doing still? Or a different version of it? Or like, what is he doing? I have not been over it. I haven't been to anybody's channel hardly in forever. Pretty much Darius. I think Kel, like, a week or two ago. Jedi Bill sometimes, but he's been watching like some creepy ass movies lately, and like I'm not really there for that. That's just my anxiety. But I haven't seen Slasher on in a while. Like a lot of times they won't tell me, even if I know somebody is like live, I'll look at the little section on the side of YouTube, and it will not show that they're live.
Well,
But
he hasn't gone live on his channel in a while, and he might not. Again,
I know. I heard him say that he might just skip out on that.
Yeah, he'll just do the Wednesday night movie reviews with JJ.
Well, I don't know what to do. I don't know what's up with that. I'm kind of worried because, like, YouTube, like, hanging out with us was his way of getting away from all the bad stuff. So I'm wondering, like, what's going on when he's getting away from his getaway. I'm like,
right, because you three are the ones that I ended up hanging out with pretty much every night, and then you kind of took a break, and JJ took a break from randomness, and then Slasher's taking a break. So it's way different for me now. You
Well,
know.
well, I took kind of a break. Like I mostly took a break from my channel, but I still visit like other people's channels and like either be on their panel and go sleep or talk a little or just visit in the chat or something. So I didn't want to like totally disappear from people. Like this is a lot of times this has been my happy place. Those trolls did kind of make it worse, and that's part of the reason why I kind of left because they didn't say that they weren't harassing me; they were harassing someone else, and like it seemed like it was a whole different group of psychos, not the original group of psychos that we were kind of used to. But yeah, I was just like, and so that's why I was more uploading stuff than anything else because like I'm not even trying to feel vexation. So I've heard that they're kind of dwindling. They're still occasionally attacking channels, but I heard they're doing a lot less than they were. And so I'm like,
Now, Raquel, are you planning anything in the near future? Because Raquel is the first one that let me on, the very first.
really? I thought we were.
Yep.
You were well, I think LDG was the second, Moira, and you were the third.
What the fuck?
You
I don't
saw
think
me
special.
on, you saw me on Nerdgasm, and you were like, "How come Darius never comes on my show?" I'm like, "Oh,
Okay, that does
you hadn't
sound
asked
like
me
me.
to
I'm
yet."
not gonna lie, that does sound like me.
Yeah, well, you just hadn't asked me.
I
to
don't
yet.
quite recall it, but that legit does sound like something I would say, like in a friendly, passive aggressive kind of fashion. That really does sound
Right.
like me. So
Well,
I like I didn't know.
even if the link was in the chat, I wouldn't click it unless the YouTuber actually asked me to do
Specifically
so.
said so. That's
Yeah.
fair. Okay, that is fair because see when people say, "Oh, like if something, if the like, hey, you have to drink, yeah, just go in the house," I'll be like, "Are you sure?" I will knock, even from them. There's nobody in there, just 'cause I feel weird just walking without at least knocking first. Or if I was in their house, went to my car to get something and came back, I would at least knock as I'm opening the door, not just walking like I own the place. You know what I mean? So I get what you
Right.
mean.
Yeah, it's
Like
just
I
that.
left the house for like 3 seconds. Maybe they changed their mind or not as I'm coming in. Just in case. I don't want to look like I'm too presumptuous and on other people's turf like that.
I'm the Nexus, Dr. Foreman.
That's what he said.
I don't understand what that means.
It means a connection, linking
Sounds like an
two or
energy
more
thing?
things. I'd actually say, oh no, scratch that. It means a connected group or series.
Oh, I thought a nexus was kind of like some kind of energy field or some shit. Like, 'cause now that I think about it, I thought I heard the term before, but
In Star Trek Generations, the Nexus was like another dimension where everything you want becomes real and tangible around you, and you could only get to it through this big ribbon that flew through space. And
Oh,
so the
wow,
whole plot
weird.
the whole plot was based around Malcolm
holy
McDowell
crap!
blowing up a
What?
star so that the Nexus would hit a planet as it was being destroyed, and then he would
Okay,
get pulled in.
So, like, if I went through that nexus ribbon thing, like,
Mhm.
could I bring other people with me, or like it would have to be me because if people go through there, everybody might want something different, so it'd be a chaotic mess. But
Well,
like,
yeah, if
do
they
I
got
just go
pulled
in there and then everything's the way I want it to be?
Yeah, like if you and Raquel were standing next to each other and you got hit by the ribbon and pulled into the Nexus, then you'd both be in there. You'd probably appear in different places within the Nexus where your dreams were being fulfilled, right? But if
Oh my
you
god, man!
went
Hospitals
in,
would not be charging people $800 for a bag of saline. Man, you could like, it wouldn't cost $2,000 to like run for office. You wouldn't hardly need to run for office because politicians would be honest. No nuclear weapons would exist. Fuck, that sounds like a great place. Heck yeah. We'd be using a lot more hemp instead of cutting down trees. Ah, man. Send me through
trees
that
are
fucking ribbon.
terrific.
Send me through that ribbon. Woo! Everybody'd be free as long as they're like not, trying to hurt nobody else. Heck yeah.
Peace and love, dude.
It'd be like a libertarian paradise, yo. Pretty
Wow.
much.
Yeah.
She's an interdimensional anomaly. I'm assuming Raquel, because I'm an anomaly. I'm just not an
Me?
interdimensional anomaly. I'm assuming you, Lauren, is slapping me in the face. I don't see how. I think y'all are on 2 different
Metaphorically.
continents.
Well, did someone did say I was? What did they say? They say I was like a star.
A nexus is what I thought you said.
They said like if some of the lines that since I'm a star, people are naturally drawn to me.
A magnet?
No, like a light.
Oh, okay. I mean, I must have missed that part. Sorry. I mean, you are adorable, and people are drawn to you. I'm sure. Like
And
I just want, I want to put you in my purse and just take you places. Like you're just so cute and adorable. But I missed that part on the chat though. I think I kind of half look at it. Like I just kind of skim over it. And if it looks like it's like a message to you, like I kind of half read it maybe because it's more for you than me. So, oh, thank you, Dr. Forbin. I'm trying to say Forbin correctly, not Foreman, because my mouth is not. Yeah. But if it sounds like I'm saying your name wrong, it is not my fault. I am sorry. I do know how to read. My mouth is just not cooperating.
we haven't called her Rachel, so you're good.
Oh, Raquel is so much easier to say than Rachel right now. Well, I don't know. I guess I can say Rachel. It makes my mouth contort weird. Raquel is so much easier to say. And besides, if it was Rachel, it'd be a PH. It would be a Q. But
Yeah.
I mean, like Raquel Welch, I mean, like a heart.
You'd think it'd be obvious.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's times when I read something wrong because it looks a certain way, and like I see like the first couple letters, and so my brain fills in the blank, assuming it knows what it's saying. It turns out I read it wrong. Like if someone spoofs like a flag or something, it's supposed to, and I'm used to saying one thing, and it's actually saying another. I'll miss it. I'll miss the joke. Like somebody was talking about I forget what it was, but they were using the BLM flag. It's like a black and white flag, and somebody was talking about something on somebody's Twitter feed, and I was looking, and they didn't mention the flag at first. So I'm looking, and my half part of my brain kind of saw the flag, and I'm like, oh, that's the Black Lives Matter flag, okay. And I'm skimming down, and I'm just looking because I'm like, what are they talking about? Because they were talking about something, seeming kind of like low key racist, and I'm trying to figure out like what they were referring to, and like they mentioned the flag, and I had to go back and look at it, and it was the same flag, but the words were different, and it said all lives matter. And I was like, oh, okay. And so the issue was that the flag and the design of it had been co-opted, and that was what their issue was. And I was like, okay, now I see what you're talking. Okay, because like I said, I saw the font and the color of it. My brain just assumed I knew what it said. I saw the word matters, and I figured that's what it. Okay, and so I was scrolling trying to figure out what this guy was talking about. So I had to go back and look at it twice. I'm like, oh, okay, it helps to read the whole thing. Gotcha. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to make a political situation. I'm just explaining how my brain kind of assumes what something's going to say, so it fills in the blank, and I don't fully read it sometimes.
Hail, Bruce.
Hello, Bruce. How are you?
Hello.
Oh, cute. Oh, so cute. Sorry. I'm going to make sure I tuck down here when I smile.
And my cat came by. She's like, I want to sit in your lap now. Like, not in front of the keyboard.
But the keyboard is perfect for me now.
I know.
My cat, Bob, she likes to, like, if I'm, like, looking on my phone and I'm petting with one hand, that's not good enough. She wants both hands. So she'll, like, get petted and then come over here and try to nuzzle the phone out of my hand so I will pet her. And I'm like,
oh, my
don't
cat
pet her
does
with
the
both
same
hands.
thing. Like, if
Like,
I'm laying
I'm not giving her
down,
full attention, meow. I'm like, okay.
if I'm laying down looking at my phone, she'll head bump my hand and try to knock the phone off my hand.
Yep.
Like, you're gonna pay attention to me now.
Bruce says, how is everyone? I had a great day at work. That's all. It's like John Wick said, I'm back, baby. I didn't know he said I'm back. I think when they asked him if he was coming out of retirement, he goes, yeah, I think I'm back. I think is what the quote was. But I also could have missed that because I did watch all the movies, I think, in a row, and they may have blurred together. I had never seen them before, and I ended up just watching all of them. I'm like, bro, like no wonder people are going crazy over that film. I can't wait for the next one. I can't see him as anything else. Even when I watched that Bill and Ted movie, like, and they were dealing with that weird ass robot, I really thought he was gonna take a pin and kill the robot. Like, I really thought he was fucking gonna fuck that thing up. It was so weird to see him try to pretend to be a, whoa, Valley Boy, because he ain't that guy no more. Like, we've seen what he can do. Like, he is not that airheaded kid from the original movie anymore. Like, yeah, all I could see is John Wick time traveling. That's really all I was seeing. You know. Well, it was more like going to different dimensions. I don't know if it was, well, there was some time travel, I think. Y'all have got to start talking more, or people are going to get tired of hearing my voice.
Oh yeah. So, what do you want to do later? You want to do a birthday stream or a movie watch?
You could do both. Why
I was
not?
about to say, one does not preclude the other, my dear.
Mm-hmm.
It can be both.
I'll put the word out.
Put like silent movies on, see what happens. Like if they give me a problem, we'll just go back to talking or chatting or whatever. Have a bunch of people on the stream, so like I'm not completely dominating the bloody conversation. Hello, brightest day.
Oh, brightest day.
You're in a lot
Hey,
of places.
brightest day.
I'd like to hear you laugh your ass off if possible. I'm not sure who you want to hear laughing. Because my laugh is not that great right now, I don't think. Like, what was it that Deadpool said? Laughing on the outside, pain on the inside. It's been a heck of a month. I'm not gonna lie.
I hope the holidays are gonna
Oh,
be
I don't even want
less
to think.
crazy, but
I don't want to think about the bloody holidays right now.
I don't really think so. I might be wrong.
I hate holidays. I like
Halloween is coming up soon.
I do like Halloween, but the rest of the holidays, they could go completely unmarked. Like I always try to resist putting up a Christmas tree every year. I try to resist. I've tried to resist ever since 2009. Because my dad died like 3 weeks before Christmas, and my mom spent the next couple of years telling me, well, you can't at least do it for Dee Dee, you know? And I'm like, of course, now my daughter is like somewhat of a loose teenager, and so like I don't know if she'd give a shit or not. I don't know. But yeah, there's always gonna be somebody who's like, no, it's tradition and this and that, and I end up like a week before breaking buying like fine, and tree goes out. We're always the last to put the tree up, and then nobody wants to actually take the fucking ornaments off, so it's up there until like sometime in January. More punk. How am I punk rock? I don't think I can even name a punk rock band. I'm not sure really what is differently punk rock or punk rock. Like I'm not entirely certain. I think there's like
the Ramones, the Sex Pistols.
Nope, I don't listen to them.
DJ B2 will drop some names in the chat of some real punk bands.
I mean, I've heard of the Ramones. I just have not listened to them.
You ever heard the Ramones song, "The KKK Took My Baby Away"? I love that song.
That sounds terrible, and oh my god, I'm afraid we're gonna get reported for that.
No. I mean, it's not a bad song.
It sounds pretty bad, dude. Black Flag. Oh, it's got that weird guy in it. It's got that one guy in it. I refer to him as the Black Flag guy. He was like on the show.
Henry Rollins.
That's it, Henry Rollins. I can never remember Henry Rollins, but I remember he was in Black Flag, and so like for a while he had this show he hosted, and I was like, hey, the Black Flag guy. Like that's how much I knew of him, even though I don't think I know any of the songs. But that's for some reason I could not remember his name. But at least you knew what the hell I was talking about. Thank goodness. Like otherwise the Misfits. I've heard of them. I may have heard one of their songs.
Glenn Danzig was in the Misfits.
I do not know enough about it to know that part. But I must admit, I have to tinkle. So why don't y'all entertain everybody? Because y'all are awesome. How about that? Oh, God. I'm going to take you on for the old stuff.
I wonder if Moira would like Misfits. And Bruce with the deep cut, Dead Milkman. I've never even heard of the Deep Milk or the Dead Milkman. Dead, wow, the Dead Milkman. I've heard of Dead Kennedys. DJ B2 says, I got directions from Dee Dee stumbling out of CBGB's at 2 or 3 a.m. I was super pissed. Wow. So you went to CBGB's in its prime? Is CBGB's still around?
CBGB?
Yeah, CBGB's.
Let me see. Let me look it up.
There's a club in New York. Oh, looks like it's not around anymore.
Hmm.
The whole house needs to be empty. I'm gonna go. I'll be right back. Keep everybody entertained. I am gonna go investigate and see why the house is completely empty.
All right.
It
It looks like
Need a fan.
CBGB's was around from 1973 to 2006. We got to keep everyone entertained. Was that too lowbrow, Raquel?
No.
Oh, yeah. I think it is. Early 2000s. Yep. And the new one is pure shit. Optic Razor said, CBGB is the best. I didn't know we had so many punk fans. What's up, The Wake Down?
Hello. Tomorrow's October. It's already
Review
here.
Oh, that's fine, Bruce. I'll allow it. Yeah, October's finally here. I always have to work on Halloween, though.
Ah.
I've only had 2 Halloweens off in the last 15 years. And one was when I was engaged and my fiance had a kid and we took him trick-or-treating. Other than that, I just got one off that I didn't ask for a couple years ago. Usually, I'm there every year. Candy corn season. Bone, do you like candy corn?
I like candy corn too.
Let me see. There's some, I'm gonna see if I can find something I saw recently.
Candy
that has to do
apples.
with
Yum.
Candy corn.
I don't think maybe everyone does notice this, but I usually sometimes go to Ohio, and I do notice that Halloween is not celebrated down south as it is up north. I don't know why, but candy corn ranch dressing.
Yeah, I found this on Father Christopher Miller's Twitter a few days ago. Yeah, candy corn flavored Hidden Valley Ranch.
The one I saw, it was like mac and cheese ice cream. Like, who wouldn't want to eat mac and cheese ice cream?
I don't know. I don't know if this is even real. Because look at the way the colors are not mixed together inside the bottle. You know, it almost looks like Photoshop. I am inclined to think this is not real. But what do you guys think? 1 in the chat if you think this is real, and 2 if you think it's fake.
It's probably fake.
All right, let's see.
I haven't really dressed up for Halloween for quite a while. I usually just put a Halloween shirt, and that's it.
Like a Halloween themed shirt. Oh, do you like Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yes, I love that film.
I had a hunch. I still like that movie.
Oh, the slow motion capture stuff. I love those type of films.
Yeah,
But
it's amazing.
it is, but it's very time consuming and tedious
Yeah.
because the way they do it is, they make the figures everything like, they make their outfits, they make the body structure, and then they make the sets. And with the figures, they put it. For example, you move the arm, take a pick. Move the other arm further, take a pick. So they have to repeat this. I don't know how many times, but it can take, I should say, a few years for the production of that film to be completed.
Hmm. Yeah, it's so time consuming, and now we can kind of fake it with CGI and just make it look like claymation. But
Yeah.
we know it's not real claymation, and that real stuff is very impressive. Tim Burton was killing it back in the 80s and the 90s. He was really on top of it. One movie I have not seen even today is Corpse Bride.
That is good.
And didn't he have another one about a little girl?
Coraline?
Coraline. Yeah, I haven't seen that either. Is that good?
Mm-hmm, it is.
Is it real spooky?
It is off base from the book.
Okay. Can you think of any Tim Burton movies that are not in like the Tim Burton style? Super goth, Victorian noir.
All right, here's a stop motion film. I don't think it's from Tim Burton. It's called The Missing Link, like Bigfoot style. I like to watch that.
Claymation?
Mm-hmm. It looks like it.
Oh yeah, I remember when that came out.
Yeah,
It was a real claymation.
it was released like 2 years ago.
I think that one is CGI. But it does have a claymation style to it. Do you know Tim Burton did a Planet of the Apes in like 2001?
I'm not really familiar with Planet of the Apes.
It's the one with Mark Wahlberg in it. I actually like that one. Everyone else seems to hate it. Yeah, it looks like everyone else agrees that that bottle is probably fake.
Show the one with the mac and cheese ice cream. That looked pretty well. Yeah, I think there is a live version of Frankenweenie, and then there's like a stop motion animation of Frankenweenie by Tim Burton.
Frankenweenie. That just reminds me of Dr. Frankenfurter.
The last Tim Burton movie you saw was Sleepy Hollow. I have not seen that one yet. Snortopupus.
Okay, I found everything. Man, did the camera like drop down? I'm trying to have people like really see my mouth. There we go. Apparently it moved a little while I was gone. Like that.
Raquel, I cannot find the mac and cheese ranch.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh?
I found Chunky Blue Cheese Ranch
Well,
and
What?
Three Cheese Ranch. What?
did I miss something?
What did I say that gave him that idea?
I don't know, but he apparently he might have said something like whether it was a transmission of a vehicle or said something that's similar to that, and maybe he went with it. I do not know.
Ah, found it.
Moira, what do you think of this?
That would make the even Jewish people believe in hell.
Yeah, Father Miller actually said, coming to you direct from the depths of hell.
Something is so wrong with that, I just can't.
I think it's fake.
I hope so.
And a bunch of the chat thinks it's fake.
Some basic white girl went way too far with that shit. That's worse than pumpkin spice everything.
All right, I sent it to you on Discord, Darius.
Okay.
Maybe. But anywho, yeah, I guess we can all reconvene in like a couple hours if everybody wants to.
I'm up for it.
At Darius' channel. So if y'all are not subscribed to Darius, although I imagine y'all probably are, there is his name right there. It's Darius Morshausen. Actually, my impediment may actually make me pronounce it more correctly. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, you know what I always say? Don't worry about it if you can't pronounce it. Candy corn is only ones and zeros to me.
No.
Oh,
I know he's not talking
forgot
to me.
about
He's
Circus
identified as
Peanuts.
a cat. So. I thought he was going there too. I really did at first. Nobody said you were.
Oh,
Or
we know. We know.
there's a difference between someone on Twitter or Facebook. I can't remember which one it was. Said, what's the difference between being woke and being awake? And I forget what I said, but darn it, I felt it was pretty clever. I think being awake is realizing that people are losing their rights, and woke is when you're trying to take other people's rights away. It was something along those lines. I think it came out much more clever and smooth originally, but I think that's basically what I had said was the difference. Like, a lot of that's just diet woke. I mean, anywho. So, everybody, we love you. Lots and lots.
Love you.
And
Catch you later.
what?
Umlauts.
What's that?
The umlaut is the two dots over the vowel.
Oh, okay. I
So
didn't know.
in the case of the
I just call
U,
them accent marks.
it's pronounced oo.
Mm.
So you shape your lips to say ooh, but then with the back of your mouth you say e. It comes out ooh. Munchausen.
Yeah,
Meow,
right
meow,
now
meow.
my mouth is so messed up I could probably do it right. Munchausen. Got it.
Oh. Hey, Mar.
Yeah. Hugs, Mar.
He's
Like
like,
a hug.
I know. Of course he does.
Yeah,
He knows better than I do.
fair enough. Yeah, I didn't even think about that until yesterday. And I was like, because me and Bone were talking, and I was like, that it might be a little more people there than I thought. Just I didn't really think about how much the channel had grown because I kind of hang out with everybody, but I don't really pay attention to their progress because I'm just taking up space, And I was like, oh crap, yeah, he is kind of, oh yeah, right on. I hope he doesn't forget about us. Because that happens a lot in the YouTube community, it does. I've
I
watched
would
it happen
laugh.
so many times.
But I know it has happened with other people.
Oh yeah. And some of them, they acted like they were blowing up and they were growing a little. So they started acting like they were too big to remember where they came from. And I'm like, dude, you only got to 400, calm down, Damn. You acting like you got 4,000. What the fuck, It was
Yeah.
weird. I was like okay, good luck on that. And yeah, I think I don't know. Last I saw, I'm not naming names, but it looked like he's kind of stuck, like hanging out with the same people he was, like in a rut, and then it hasn't really progressed any. From last I saw, so I'm like, oh, whatever, bro. I think it was going good for a bit. I think it just kind of hit a plateau. But like he and I are already not friends now, so there's no point. Like we were, but I think he was trying to climb that ladder and was willing to walk on people to do so. And yeah, that's how that went. So
Yeah, I don't recommend that.
yeah, I think it's kind of horrible too. Aw, love you too, B2. That's weird to say. Love you too, B2. Ugh. It's definitely not a. It's a pound sign.
Oh.
Yes, I know it's a pound sign. I used to refer to it as that because like
Yep.
I remember phones that have actual buttons.
Pound me too. Pound
I-
me
I-
too.
Oh
I-
Lord mercy!
I
was only
remember-
that joke, and I was like, man, I don't know whether to laugh or be offended. Fuck, I can't tell.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember
I
actually
giggled
calling
with
it
the
a
shock
pound
of my
sign before it was called a hashtag.
Exactly.
Yeah, that joke comes from Doomcock's channel. But I have heard someone reading when Time Prophet and I were talking about learning computer languages, and we mentioned C#, and someone read it as C hashtag. I found that endlessly hilarious.
Love it.
It's pound.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of
C#
wowed because I don't know if it was like a fake kind of setup thing or what. But it was showing like someone who's like 16, and they gave them like a regular phone or something, and they were trying. Well, okay, I guess that's. But like the phone you pick up and you just push the button. Like they didn't even take them back to rotary. They were like they like wanted to dial the number first and then pick it up, and they were like trying to figure out. And I'm like, it should not be that hard. Like I was like, this can't be real. Like I still have. I mean, we would need to replace the copper because they had copper coils in the phone just in the back area, at the back of the house. It's a rotary phone. Even it shows like it's written in pencil the original phone number, and it's only got like 4 digits and like a couple of letters in front of it. It's actually kind of crazy. And like if we actually hooked up phone service, it would work. The ringer does not work because it has a little thing here that goes ding 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 to ring the bell to ring the phone, and it's powered by 2 copper coils about the size of thread spools. And so we would have to replace the copper that's probably gone out and wrap it and then put it back in to make it work. But I mean, technically, if you know the phone is ringing, even if it's not making a sound, like you would be able to pick it up. Like the phone still works if you had service. So that's kind of cool. Like I don't want to get rid of that because I think it's neat to have a rotary phone in the house. But it's amazing. Like some people don't even like those teenage kids who like didn't even know to pick up the phone first and then dial the number. It's like really. How do you not figure that out? It made me feel like there's just no hope. But anyway, yes, I was supposed to be leaving. Sorry, at least for a while. Anyway, we love y'all. And lots of hugs to everybody. Yeah, I gotta do something. I don't know why this settings on my computer is different on my keyboard. Because usually I can just move the cursor and double tap and it does what I want, but now it doesn't. My muscle memory is doesn't know what to do with itself. Yeah. Nice. How would you know you'd be getting her though? Because you dial 0, you can dial anyone. Like I mean, so it makes me kind of wonder actually. Maybe it was just for that area. Who knows? But anyway.
All right,
Wow.
I will. When we reconvene, we'll send out a notification on Twitter or Discord, and
Yeah.
let you guys know.
Don't forget to follow Raquel and Darius, just in case you're not. Although y'all probably are. Like if you're
Just in
cool,
case.
you're probably already following them, obviously. She was the only. Okay, so she was the only one there. All right, makes it easier. Because like I remember back in the day dialing 0, and like I didn't know where the hell they were. They could have been anywhere. I didn't know who was answering. I remember that you could dial 0, and like if the phone was off the hook, they'd be able to listen in and can tell if the phone was just off the hook or if it actually was engaged in a phone conversation going, and they could tell you. I remember those days like that. I think that's cool. But anyway, but love to everybody, and we shall see you probably in like a couple hours or so. So
Yep.
what's up? One.
See you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
soon.
Later.
What was that cartoon? Like, see you real soon. That's funny. You almost had that right there. They just need Mickey Mouse Club.